What is up guys, Jarv here, back today jumping into Destiny 2. We are back with a This Week in Destiny, so if you want to find out everything that you can expect from the weekly reset, be sure to stick around and enjoy the video. If you do enjoy the video, be sure to leave a comment and rating down below, and remember to subscribe for more Destiny 2 content. We are fast approaching 100,000 subscribers here on the channel, and just over 70% of the viewers on the channel aren't currently subscribed, so be sure to hit that red button and ring that bell to make sure you don't miss an update. But without further delay guys, let's jump into the video. Another week and another This Week in Destiny. Now in week 10 of Season of the Lost, this sees the conclusion of the Festival of the Lost, the Halloween event this season. So if you're still chasing down some of those masks, or even some of the lore pages from the Book of the Forgotten, be sure to get those done this week and earn yourself a Bump in the Night emblem. Remember guys, you need to go to the Bungie rewards page in order to claim this emblem, and I'll leave the link to that down in the video description below. So be sure to get these things wrapped up before the end of the week. Now alongside the conclusion of Festival of the Lost, we have a brand new legendary astral alignment to contend with this week. This comes in the form of Forest of Echoes, so if you haven't got all the mysteries and anchors inside this shattered realm, we had a guide on this earlier in the season, and once again I'll be sure to leave the link to that down in the video description below. Now if you've been keeping up to date with all the triumphs you need for the Realmwalker seal, which is the seasonal seal for season 10, then upon the completion of the legendary version of the Forest of Echoes this week, you'll be able to claim your Realmwalker title. Now by claiming the Realmwalker seal, this doesn't necessarily indicate the end of the season. There are still some missions to take place, and specifically the exorcism of Salvatori herself. But as always guys, be sure to stay stuck to the channel and we'll keep you up to date. Now moving on to some of the rituals for this week, we have a brand new raid challenge. This comes in the form of Ensemble's Refrain, which can be found over at the Atheon encounter. Now by completing the challenge you'll get an extra chest and also access to the time loss weapon. Now to complete this challenge though, every teleported player has to destroy at least one oracle in each wave. And if you can successfully complete that, then you'll get your hands on the corrective measure time loss weapon. Now as with all the time loss weapons, they come with second perks in the third and fourth column, essentially guaranteeing that god roll each and every time. So if you haven't got your hands on the corrective measure time loss just yet, be sure to jump into the Vault of Glass this week to get your hands on it. But if it's not weapons that you're after inside the Vault of Glass and you're looking for high stat armor instead, then the high stat armor focus for this week is intellect. So if you're looking for those high intellect rolls for any class of Guardian, then this week is the week to jump inside the Vault of Glass. Now if raiding isn't your thing and you prefer the Crucible, then the Crucible rotator for this week is Clash. So if you're fed up with elimination or 3v3 game modes, then finally you can have straight up team deathmatch in a 6v6 game mode. Clash is an absolute classic, so if you want to mix things up, be sure to jump into Crucible this week. Now next up we have a brand new Nightfall for this week, probably one of the most challenging in the entire Grandmaster rotation. This week's Nightfall sees the return of the Corrupted, both as a regular and Grandmaster Nightfall. Now fortunately Bungie have made some changes to the Corrupted Strike, making it easier to get the Platinum Medal by removing one of the champions, but also decreasing the amount of boopage from Sadia within the final encounter. The final encounter in this Grandmaster is definitely one of the most challenging, so hopefully some of these changes will help us out. Now in terms of actual adept loot this week, we can focus our efforts on getting our hands on the Hothead, which is an extremely powerful legendary rocket launcher. It was underrated at the beginning of the season, but has some very powerful perks associated with it. So if you haven't got a good roll on that, be sure to jump into the Corrupted to get your hands on it. But if it isn't a rocket launcher that you're seeking, then you'll be able to get your hands on the Hung Jury instead. The Hung Jury is one of the most popular scout rifles inside the game, especially the adept version that you can get with the Grandmaster Nightfalls. It can come with things like rapid hit and explosive payload, making it one of the strongest weapons for end game pieces of content. Both of these weapons are definitely worth the effort this week if you can get your hands on them, but to do that you'll need to face Sadia in the Corrupted Nightfall this week. Now moving over to Europa this week, the Eclipse Zone can be found over in the Asterian Abyss, so if you're still working on those augments way back from Beyond Light, then be sure to head over there to find your target. Now as for the Empire Hunt this week, this can be found over in the Warrior, and this is one of my personal favourites and is an excellent source for pinnacle loot. Now alongside the Empire Hunt we have a brand new Exo challenge. This comes in the form of Simulation Agility, one of the easier ones in the entire rotation, and once again an excellent source for pinnacle loot. Now if these two activities aren't pinnacle rewards for you, then be sure to finish the sabotage quests over at Variks on Europa. These will upgrade the rewards from the Empire Hunt and Exo challenge from powerful rewards to pinnacle rewards, so be sure to get that done first before jumping into those activities. Now with the weekly rituals out the way, this brings us on to the new seasonal challenges for week 10. This is the final week for seasonal challenges in season 10, and there are only 5 available this week. Now the first one is called Techian's Cunning, and we need to fully upgrade the Barrier Breach, True Sight and Safe Passage abilities. This is likely to be a retroactive challenge, but if not, be sure to get that done to maximize your XP gains. Next up we have Ascendant Quickening, and here you need to complete the Shattered Realm on Legendary difficulty in under 25 minutes. This is alongside Cold Light of Day, and you need to defeat combatants with solar abilities, stasis abilities or shattered damage, and rapidly defeating combatants with supers will grant you bonus progress. Now the penultimate challenge this week is called Display of Supremacy, and this is where you need to acquire the Vanguard ornament for your Ascendancy rocket launcher. Now there are bonus ranks available for the Vanguard playlist this week, granting you double XP. So if you haven't got that ornament just yet, this week is most definitely the week to get that challenge done. Now, as well as XP for that challenge, you'll also be able to get your hands on the Plain Strider emblem. This is an exclusive reward for completing that challenge specifically. So if you like the look of that emblem and aren't really keen on the rocket launcher, then it's still well worth the effort to get your hands on this. And the final seasonal challenge for season 10 is called the Dreaming City Defense. And here you need to repel Xifu Araf's footholds in the Dreaming City. And this is by completing bounties, patrols, public events, and lost sectors. Now, progress on this is retroactive, so there is a chance here that you have already completed this for this season. If this isn't the case though, then be sure to jump into those activities to get that challenge done. And remember, this is the week where you can complete at least 75 of all the seasonal challenges, and by doing so you'll get your hands on a large pile of Bright Dust. Now with that being said, this brings us nicely on what Eververse has available for Bright Dust upon week 10 of Season of the Lost. Now the first item on offer in the main featured section is the Calvera Ghost Shell. This is a brand new exotic ghost shell that was introduced and created this season. Now you can pick this up for 600 silver at the beginning of the event, but if you didn't pick it up for silver, then this will set you back 2,850 Bright Dust. Next up we have the Halted Oblivion. This is an old sparrow from a previous Festival of the Lost event. If you missed out on it though, this will set you back 2,500 in Bright Dust. Alongside this we have the Batwing Entrance, a brand new transmat effect for this season, and this will set you back 450 Bright Dust. And the final item in the main featured section is the Archeo Skin Legendary Shader. Once again a brand new one for this season, and this will set you back 300 in Bright Dust. Now over in the main Bright Dust store we have the Pumpkin Dance. This is a legendary emote. Now according to Today in Destiny, this was available in fact last week and was in replacement for the Gourd Summoner, so it's highly likely that the Gourd Summoner could also be available instead of the Pumpkin Dance. If you don't want to miss out on the Gourd Summoner and you still fancy getting your hands on the Pumpkin Dance, then be sure to pay Eververse a visit to make sure you don't miss out on them. Now alongside this we have the Winged Nightmare Projection. This is a brand new one that was introduced this season, so if you like the combination of Oryx and Crota as part of this projection, this will set you back 1,500 Bright Dust. Now next we have the Necromance Dance. Now this was available for silver back in week 9 and would have set you back 500 silver to purchase. However, if you only want to pick it up for Bright Dust, then this will set you back 700 Bright Dust this week. Alongside this we have the Fettered Shell, a brand new exotic ghost shell introduced this season. This was available in week 8 for silver, and that would have set you back 600 silver. However, if you want to pick it up for Bright Dust instead, this will set you back 2,850. Alongside this we have Winchester's Ruin, a returning exotic sparrow from a previous festival event. So if you missed out on it last time, you can pick this up right now for 2,500 Bright Dust. Next up we have the Penguin Mask, a brand new mask that was introduced this season. So if you've been collecting all these, this will set you back 1,200 Bright Dust. And as for the weapon ornament, this is the Pride Glass. This is an exotic weapon ornament for the Fighting Lion. So if you've been collecting all the weapon ornaments for this particular weapon, this will set you back 1,250 Bright Dust. There we have it guys, a good look at everything that you can expect for week 10 of Season of the Lost. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to check out one of the 2 videos you see here in these cards for more Destiny 2 content. If you want to keep up to date with everything to do with Destiny 2, be sure to hit subscribe as well. I'm going to jump back into the game as always guys, and I will catch you all again very soon.